Looking ahead to the trading week beginning April 7th, we'll be looking for a bounce or any follow through. And this is really a general markets comment. As everyone knows by now, we had exaggerated weekly moves lower in all risk assets, except for Bitcoin, which had a recovery on Friday, leading to a small weekly recovery. Even the 10-year note yield at its largest drop since July 29th of last year. So the key thing early next week, do we get a bounce in anything? And if we do, it will most likely come from either short-term covering of positions or from negotiations over the weekend that reduce tariffs. Countries like Israel and Vietnam have already approached the US to discuss eliminating all tariffs on both sides. And progress like that could continue over the weekend. Right now, unfortunately, investors need to be laser focused on the possibility of follow through lower in most of the risk assets. We also have earnings that begin next week for Q1 of 2025. 19 companies with over $1 billion in market cap are reporting earnings next week, including what is the widely recognized but unofficial start of the earnings season with earning reports from the big banks. And their guidance this time will be much more important than their actual earnings. Forward guidance is going to be in focus. The big earnings coming this week include JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock, Fastenal, Delta Airlines, Constellation Brands, Walgreens, Levi Strauss, and CarMax. We also have some Fed speakers next week, and they will matter quite a bit as well. So far scheduled to speak, San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly, Philly Fed President Patrick Harker, and New York Fed President John Williams. Economic data next week that will matter. Monday, we get the UK House Price Index and German industrial production. On Tuesday, we get Canadian PMI data, and then we also get a US 3-year note auction. Wednesday, we get FOMC minutes from the last meeting here in the US and a 10-year note auction, as well as Chinese CPI later that evening. Thursday, jobless claims, as we get every Thursday, March CPI and a 30-year bond auction in the US. And then Friday, German CPI, US PPI, and Michigan consumer sentiment. This is the preliminary sentiment and inflation expectations data for the month of April, so it could be especially interesting.